I hope I can. Xinghui asks, I hope Shiv can share about the origin and purpose of Sambu Yibai. Thank you. This is a good question. How did Sambu Yibai come about? The short answer is, I also don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I honestly don't know the specific origin of this, but what I can see is that today it is prevalently practiced in the Tibetan tradition. Yeah. Oh. From what I hear, it is an expression, prostration as always, is an expression of veneration. Yeah. So I believe from what I hear, by doing the Sampu Yibai, in the Tibetan tradition, they do Sampu Yibai not so much to circumambulate something, which is what we do in Singapore, but when they want to go to a holy place, when they want to go to, let's say, visit their teacher or go and meet a very high Lama, Rinpoche or somebody, then to in a way express their determination and their veneration, and also to in a way test themselves how firm their determination is. Then the journey itself is taken by taking 3 steps and 1 bow. Yeah, but in Tibet, from what I know, they don't necessarily Sampu Yibai, They sometimes Ipu Yibai. Yeah. If you go and look at some of the videos online, yeah, and if you go to Tibet, you see some of them going, right? They don't Sampu Yibai. Sampu Yibai, I think, is our adapted one to, so that it's not so xiong. For them, it's Ipu Yibai. Yeah, so they take 1 step, they bow. Then they take 1 more step, they bow. Yeah. And can you imagine Tibet? Tibet is not like Singapore so small, no. Yeah. When they go from their hometown, their village to, let's say, the Potala Palace, they don't even get to go in. Now we take a plane, go there, and go inside. They reach the outskirts of Potala Palace, and then just to have a glimpse of the Dalai Lama or some Rinpoche, the procession pass by, they have the faith that if they can make that journey and they just see the procession, if they can just see from a distance the outline of the Rinpoche, oh, they are blessed with so much merits. They are blessed with they are given so much blessing already, that they have imprinted so much wholesome imprints. But do we have this kind of thought? We don't have this kind of thought. Most people, when they go for Sampu Yibai, they look at it as like 消业障. Yeah, they go through, then they are very xiong. Then their friends say, "加油, go through." Wow. Then they make it like oh, I go through a lot of hardship, so it purifies my negative karma. Yeah. The original practice, I don't think is meant to do that. Yeah. Oh, bye, Xinhui. Yeah, the original practice is just like when they do the 100,000 prostration. It is to cement their conviction in what they want to do. Yeah. So whatever practices we do, we need to do it with right view. Yeah. Unfortunately, today a lot of people do the Sampu Yibai. Whenever they do, they think of it as that they go through hardship, then it's purification of their negative karma. Now, I can't say that there is no purification or there's purification, But I can only say that this mindset is very similar to that of the White Tao. In the Buddha's time, there were those ascetics who believed that by inflicting hardship or pain and suffering onto themselves, self-mortification, that they will purify themselves. And the Buddha actually joined one of the group in Kuxingling, right? And he put himself through all kinds of hardship, yeah, sleeping on thorns, standing on one foot, holding up one hand, then holding their breath, yeah, breathe in and then hold their breath, or breathe out and then hold their breath until the pain is racking in the head. The description that Buddha gave is it's as though two men hold you down and there's a third person whacking your head with a hammer. You all have headache until it's as though someone whacking you with a hammer. Even to the point of taking just one morsel of food, that means one hand of food, yeah, up to even just one sesame, yeah, to the point where he is so emancipated. The belly, when he touched his belly, he touched his backbone. When he touched his back, he touched his stomach. He's so gaunt, he's so shriveled down. But he found that that doesn't help. So he put that aside. He stopped the practices. Then later on, when he talked to them, yeah, after he attained enlightenment, he talked to some of them who believed that self-mortification can lead to liberation. He asked them, before you start, do you know how much you have? How much of the unwholesome karma or negative karma you have? They say, don't know. They say, when you do this practice, do you know how much you remove? They say, don't know. And after you finish, do you know how much you are left with? Like how long it will take to remove everything? He said, don't know also. Then he said, then the Buddha said, in that case, then what is the efficacy of your practice? You know, you don't know the efficacy of the practice. Your practice is futile. Yeah, it's as good as just doing anything. you don't know what is the outcome. Yeah. So I say this with a lot of reservation, because a lot has to do with your mindset when you're doing it. So if you do some Purification with veneration, then it's different. Yeah. We in Singapore we usually do some Purification circumambulating an object of veneration. So as you are doing the Purification, you should be thinking of the object of veneration. What are you venerating? The wholesome qualities that make it worthy of veneration, and to set off the aspiration to cultivate and practice to also attain these qualities. If we do it this way, then it is wholesome. Then it is a Dharma practice. Yeah. Or maybe when you are doing the 3-step 1 bow prostration, you maintain mindfulness. Yeah. And while maintaining mindfulness, you take note of your body, speech, and mind. Yeah, then that's also practice. Yeah. Then that is purification. Or you may, as you are doing prostration, you reflect on the object of veneration, how that is also dependent arising and empty in nature, and you reflect on the 5 aggregates. Yeah, that as you are doing prostration, the prostrator is also empty in nature. Yeah, and then prostration itself is also dependent arising and empty in nature. Then san lun ti kong. Yeah, the doer, the recipient, and the act itself are all empty in nature. Then there's vipassana, and then indeed there's purification. Yeah, but if you have this thinking, oh, I do prostration, then it's very tough, and then there's purification. In that case, every day when people go to gym, there's purification. Yeah, every time when they run, they go for a run, yeah, marathon, I'm sure every other week there's some people who go for marathon. Yeah, go for marathon. Then there's purification, right? But is there purification in this way? No. Yeah. So the mindset is very important. And that's why in the Tibetan practice, they have this teaching. Even when you fall sick, you can use that to do practices, purification. Yeah, instead of experiencing the sickness and then keep on thinking, may I quick, please help me, let me not suffer. Then the Tibetan practice is, for some people, when they first hear it, they're like, oh, but actually it's a very beautiful practice. It is that when you experience, let's say, some physical illnesses, you think that with compassion, you have this thought, may you take on this suffering so that all sentient beings don't suffer. Yeah, that may this illness continue in replace of all the sentient beings. Let's say you are having headache, and you have this, you generate this bodhicitta, this thought. May I take on the headache of all sentient beings? Even if it's just 1 second, I take on 1 second of all sentient beings' headache. And may this 1 second prolong, may it not end. May I continue to take on the suffering of all sentient beings. If you do that, then your headache is not in vain. It's a very wholesome bodhicitta intent. But how many of us can do that? Yeah. I first learned of this teaching in 1990, should be 98, 99, should be 99, 98, 99 there about. Yeah, I was involved in a project with some of a few Buddhists, this awakened CD, and then the few of them, they are doing the Tibetan practice. And then one of them brought me to the Amitabha Buddhist Center, ABC, and then learned the Lamrim under Lama Zopa Rinpoche. I don't know whether he's, in the past few years, he's still teaching. Yeah, but that was years back. Yeah, that I learned about this. Then I tried, I was having, at some point, around that time, then I have this like flu or something. Yeah, then I do this reflection. Yeah, then they're supposed to visualize the dark cloud in all sentient beings. Yeah, that unwholesome, that suffering, and then let it come into you. You know, you accept all the unwholesome things, the dark clouds, and then you purify into white cloud, and then you return it to them. Yeah. Then when I told my mom, she was like, 师父，修啊 you don't anyhow go and practice when those people they practice, they have a lot of merit. Why you practice later, something happens to you? Yeah, that is what this practice is trying to overcome actually. Our self-cherishing thought. We are so concerned with ourselves. We don't consider, compared to ourselves, countless sentient beings. What is this suffering? Nothing. Yeah. By the back of our mind, as long as there's self-cherishing, we will always be afraid like, hey, so does it mean that we really continue suffering? If you have this thought, that means you're not doing it correctly. Yeah. When you are doing it correctly, you really have no care or concern that it continue. When it continue, you feel joy. You're not worried. You don't have to worry. Yeah. True compassion, when true compassion arises, you cannot have compassion for others and then have one more thought about, oh, I'm suffering. So when compassion arises, the kind of worry and concern for yourself stop altogether. Yeah. So this is in relation to the question on the origin and purpose of Sampuit, but extension of this question. So when we do different practices, Yeah, good to. This is a good question. Oh, but I can only share what based on what I know, based on the teachings. Yeah. As to the specific origin, I'm not so clear how it started. But purpose, this is what I know so far. Okay. Uh, may all of us practice non-self-cherishing. May we cherish all other sentient beings and constantly evoke bodhicitta in our life.